who is a kind of friend, philosopher, and guide for all of us in DCR. Uh, I welcome all the dignitaries, all the representatives of IDC, all the members of DCR, including the editorial team of this newsletter, which is going to be launched in a while, all the attendees who have been kind enough to join this virtual event. I welcome again all of you, and now I request uh, our international, our chief guest, our special guest, and the President DCR to kindly launch the newsletter. If you permit, sir, we can just unveil the by clicking a button. Our team will click the button.
Mr. Kirsch, with your permission and Prasanna ji's permission, I think we can launch the newsletter, so we can do it online.
At first, once again, very warm greetings from Berlin, Germany, to you, to Rajasthan. It's the first link like this I had so far, and I would like to thank in particularly Ms. Guha ji for her dynamic pushing forward the Delphic movement in Rajasthan, also for her trust and belief in the Delphic movement. And in particular, I would like to thank Ramesh for putting all his efforts since more than 10 years into the Delphic movement and proving that a home of the Delphic movement is also India. Because the smallest and first democracy, so to speak, was Greece. And the largest democracy nowadays is India. And so to be in the forefront, to be initiating personalities makes the world becoming better. Delphi as such, just for you, is not just a point on the map. Delphi is more as a little village in Greece. Delphi was the beginning fighting for peace. Because in ancient times, the holy place Delphi, the oracle of Delphi, was the place 12 Greek tribes fought for to own it. And after 3 wars, they recognized to fight is not an answer to create positive things. Let's share and unite. Let's put this message out into ancient times. And with this, they stopped fighting. They created the Amphictyonia, a union of the 12 tribes, and kept peace for about 1,000 years. And they gave a sign how important peace is. And they are not just by accident the forerunner of the United Nations today. So it's not just praising the higher powers by the gifts we received in the arts, but it's also a praising and strengthening of peace. And this was the intention for that in ancient times, for 1,000 years, 1 year prior to the Olympic Games, the Delphic Games were performed. And today, with the founding of the International Delphic Council, after 1,600 years, after the ban of both games are alive again. And I feel honored and pleased that it's India taking that forceful stand for peace, because this is, to me, the hidden power of India, the spiritual power, not just business, not just money, but let's add spirit and care to it. And with this, I'm sure we can initiate to change the world. And when I started more than 30 years ago in thinking about Delphi, it was actually not that highly aimed at the beginning. It was just giving a floor compared to sports, to the arts. And I learned. I went to Greece. I studied arts, culture, handicrafts, and sensed we have so many gifts from above, from the gods, from the parents. We just have to develop them. We have to create them. We have the power to change the world, to give the impulse the young ones, the children needs, to design, to create their own life. And I would like to encourage you, do it, because if we are not committed to that, children are gifted with a special sense what the adults mean. Is it just a word? Or is it dedication? Is it felt? Is it a way of expressing care? And this is the reason that the International Delphic Council was founded, and we try to expand understanding, respect, and peace. Everyone speaks about peace and things okay if the weapons are not, if we are doing shoot against each other, that's enough. Peace is much more. And peace is resting within us, is resting within the leaders of our societies. We just have to encourage them. Beside all competitions, we have to encourage our leaders. And that's why I'm so happy that Ms. Guha Ji was taking the initiative, took the chance to express her curiosity. What is Delphi all about? And I want to encourage you to help me, because I'm just the very first, possibly, and I'm not the very first. The very first ones are our forefathers in ancient times. I'm just listening and helped and got their messages. And let's do us the same. Listen to the forefathers, transferring the values of the past into the future. And be convinced. I will do the utmost to strengthen you, to support you. And once again, thank you, dear Ramesh ji, for your care, for your courage, for your standing, and for the friendship you expressed. Thank you very much. And I wish you, with your newsletter, that millions of people will read the news, that they will realize, hey, it's not just another chapter, it's something which inspires us. And I'm so happy that so many women are also with us, because I know the driving force of our societies are women. So gratitude also particularly to the strong women in our society having the courage to encourage us men. So salute to your movement, and I'm very, very grateful to you all, and be embraced, friends. Hopefully to see you in life and not just digital very soon. All the best, stay healthy, and stay encouraged as you are. Have a wonderful meeting. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Shipra, you could request Mudit ji to go through the process of launching
Thank you, Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Kirsch, for your warm words. I would now request Muditji to please share the screen for the virtual launch of our newsletter.
Yes.
This is a historic moment and it requires a warm applause from all of us. On behalf of Delphic Council of Rajasthan, I congratulate all the members of the newsletter team, and we are now having a look at how the newsletter unfolds before you in its virtual format. It has congratulatory messages from the International President and from Special Advisor Prasanna ji, from MAM, from Secretary General DCR, and it has got a series of all the events that we conducted in last 3 months on our virtual platform, Delphic Dialogues. For the benefit of all our guests, we are having a look, a preview of the magazine, which will be shared shortly with everyone. Thank you, Muditji, for this preview of the virtual magazine, Delphic Digest. I would now request our special guest for today, Shri Ramesh Prasanna ji, who is advisor for SAARC region and India for International Delphic Council, to kindly address us on this morning, sir. Prasanna, sir.
Good morning and namaskar. I'm extremely happy to see something here which actually enthuses me, because I'm a evangelist for that. Vernacular language. Language is so important in culture. And I must tell you that the newsletter is reflective of your state, reflective of who you are, and the cultural ethos that you carry. It's very easy for us to create newsletters in languages which are alien to us, which of course we all use as a common code between us. But having said that, if we encourage our own languages, I think that is the first step to, getting things together and cohering things. And I think this is, it makes me very warm in my heart to think that, more people will be able to read it and access this. So while you may be circulating it in a private basis around the country or maybe in your state, you can certainly escalate this to something bigger and better, maybe for a larger audience. Well, I started with that because I was very enthused by seeing Hindi there as a medium of communication. And I must tell you that I am very, very happy to be here. Welcome, Mr. Kirsch. I mean, there is nothing that we can say about you, because we are all here because you started it in 1994 and possibly much before that, that when you had the spiritual awakening in Greece. And Sreya ji has been a pillar of strength, to all of us in India, just not in Rajasthan. Her advice, her wisdom, and her calibrated views on matters which really help us a lot. I mean, it also helps being experienced in managing governance, and it also helps in being an artist or an artistic bent of mind. And Jitendra Soni ji here is also one person I've seen who has got a calm on his face. And I think this calm happens only when you're an artist, you're a writer, you have that kind of ability to be able to express. I have interacted with Furkan Khan ji here, and who's extremely good with what he speaks. He's got very deep knowledge on subjects, and I'm sure this eclectic team together will do a absolutely wonderful job in the coming future. I have interacted with most of you, but we've not got to know each other that very well. But I'm very certain that if you're together in a team, then you have your own gravities that you come with. I can only tell you one thing, is that within this country, you have been a leader in most of the first that you have initiated. We've had both ups and downs in a short span of 8 months. And I'm pretty sure that in the coming future, we are going to be in a very, very good league of, what you call it, harmony and peace. And I want to see more of interactions between states and within the, a large country and in the region as such. And then maybe if the International Delphic Council gives us those platforms internationally, we should also be able to represent ourselves there. all I can say is that I'm a great lover of literature myself. I've been, now we do not get a lot of time to read, but I am certain that, these are the things that remain with you for long. And I think this is a great initiative that, Rajasthan has taken. And I must also tell you that, states are thinking on these lines, and, Maharashtra, for example, is thinking on something to do with a magazine per se. It enthuses me because at the end of the day, this is one of the bigger ways to, spread the word, where it remains with people instead of the spoken word. And, it comes and goes, but something that in written remains in the archival, memory as well as history. With these words, I will not take much of your time. All of you are pressed for time. And thank you, Mr. Kirsch, for coming at 6:30 in the morning on the request of Sreya ji. And, I think this is something which we would really appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Shri Prasanna ji, for addressing us with such warm words. And I assure you, sir, that we at Delphic Council of Rajasthan um, agree with you wholeheartedly about leadership of Sreya Guha ma'am. And she is also the chairperson for today's event. And we request you, ma'am, to kindly address us on this novel occasion. Ma'am.
Thank you,
Sreya Guha ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. To begin with, a very warm welcome to Secretary General IDC, Mr. Christian Hirsch. And I apologize for waking you up so early in the morning, and thank you so much for being a part of this. And Prasanna ji for always being such a motivator and being with us throughout our journey since we started in July. This is a historic occasion because like we were the first to get registered in the country as a state council. So we are again the first here to come up with a newsletter, because we felt that whatever we've done in the last 3 months, we should document, we should share, and we should leave it for posterity, and not just share it amongst ourselves, but also share it with the larger Delphic family and people who are interested in art and culture, both in Rajasthan and in the country. I would like to thank both of you, because Mr. Kirsch, as Prasanna ji mentioned, when you initiated this movement, I can imagine what kind of effort you must have had to put in to convince people about this, and to start a new movement, to start a new trend is always so difficult. And so therefore we are grateful to you that you started something that we got an opportunity to be part of. And Prasanna ji, because he has been with us, and so I've seen his passion, his dedication, and his overall commitment to the movement, because I think 24/7 he's thinking about this, and he's trying to improve and help us and advise us and take us along, and create something which I think is such a good idea, because not only does it give a platform to people who are practitioners in various art forms, but also to the youth, because I sincerely believe that it is for the youngsters that we must all work and give them an opportunity to get exposure to things that are happening all over the world, and also showcase their talent. So that is our intent, to try and get as many people on board who are young people, who are talented, and who lack that platform and who lack that exposure. So this newsletter is one of our efforts in that direction. I would like to thank the editorial team, which has done a tremendous job of working day and night and putting everything together, because it's actually a very difficult task to get these write-ups, and everybody's busy with their day-to-day jobs and their lives, and then to find time to do this. So Nishant and Naveen, Shipra, Rahul ji, Furkan ji, all of them have worked very hard, and I have no role in this, let me tell you. They have done it all on their own. And the IT team led by Mudit ji, we must formally on this platform in front of Mr. Kirsch thank him, because if it had not been for him and his support, we would not have started these online programs, and if we had not done that, we would not have the newsletter today. So Mudit ji, from all of us, the entire team, congratulations and felicitations to you. All our other members, Manisha ji, Monali, I can see Tejaswini and Pankaj. So all Shubhankar's also in the meeting. So all the other members have also put in their best. They have taken their time out, given us advice wherever required, given us inputs, created events for us whenever we needed them. And of course, Jitendra has been guiding them, shepherding them, and doing the real nitty-gritty part of the job. So he's also been working very hard for the last 3 months. I wanted to introduce my entire team to you, Mr. Kirsch, because Prasanna ji interacts with them, but you're meeting them for the first time and they're also interacting with you. So I needed to acknowledge all the hard work that they've been doing. And it's not just the hard work, it's the commitment, it's the enthusiasm, and it's the belief in the movement, which is important. Otherwise, they would not be taking time out on a voluntary basis from their day-to-day jobs. So I would like to congratulate all of them, and I hope that as a team, we are able to go forward, we achieve many more milestones, and the standards that we've set for ourselves, we are able to match that and improve that further. So thank you once again. And thank you so much, Mr. Kirsch, for joining us, and Prasanna ji. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am, for your address. And I assure you, on behalf of our whole team, not only the newsletter team, but all the executive members, that we are doing so well only because of your leadership and your constant guidance to us. Creating the newsletter was indeed a team effort. And Naveen Tripathi ji has done a great job of putting everything together in the final format. I now request Naveen Tripathi ji to share his experience with us briefly, how the newsletter came into this form. Naveen Tripathi ji.
Namaskar and good morning, Mr. Kirsch, Mr. Prasanna, Ms. Sreya, Guha, Dr. Soni, dear Delphians. I'm very excited to speak to you. Someone told me long back that great things happen to you when you're a part of a great team. And that's what I've lived in last 3 months. Great events, so much enthusiasm. The editorial team had a very difficult time putting together such elaborate events into just a few words each for each event. So compliments to them. That was the most difficult part, collating that. And I hope you all will have as much fun going through it as we had putting it together. We have made this for the mobile format so that it's easy to read on a mobile. So kindly don't get intimidated by 20-25 pages that it runs into. It's a crisp 10-minute read. God willing, with COVID behind us now, next few issues, the coming issue will have more real pictures, real people, and not just screenshots. We really look forward to that and sharing the next version with you very soon. We welcome your valuable feedback on this, your inputs on this. Your experience will make the issues much better. Thank you all for giving us this opportunity. Thanks for this time. Have a very nice day. Happy reading. Namaskar.
Thanks, Naveen ji. You've done the designing part so well, and the putting together of all the words, all the details that bind all the programs, all the events that we had in last 3 months from July, from the inception of Delphic Council of Rajasthan. Shri Rahul Sood ji will now give a formal vote of thanks. Mr. Sood.
Lovely and a warm morning to everyone. I, on behalf of Delphic Council of Rajasthan newsletter team, want to thank our most valued and worthy chief guest, Mr. J. Christine B. Kirsch, founder and Secretary General, International Delphic Council, and special guest, Mr. Ramesh Prasanna, International Delphic Council of India, advisor, who gave their vital time from the busy schedule to grace the launch of Delphic Digest, the inaugural issue of Delphic Council of Rajasthan newsletter. I also want to thank President Delphic Council of Rajasthan, Sreya Guha ma'am. Without her vision, able leadership and guidance, this would not have been possible. We are fortunate to thank the dedicated and well-motivated team of Delphic Council of Rajasthan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shri Rahul Surji. Our warm thanks to Mr. Kirsch, the founder of the International Delphic Council. Sir, keeping in mind the Delphic spirit of art and culture, creating history and also learning from human history, we know that we can preserve an art and culture by creating it on and on. So keeping in mind this spirit, our next event, Delphic Dialogues, this Saturday, 30th October, will also be about sustainable art, eco-art, in which we are going to interview Shri Himanshu Jangirji, who is doing sustainable eco-art through old automobiles. And I request all the guests to join us on this event on Saturday between 5 to 6 p.m. And with this, I formally, am I audible?
I think Shipra's got
Thank you.
disconnected.
Ma'am, I lost the network. With this, I formally request you all to exit the event. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.